chair now recognizes Mr. Burlison from Missouri. Is that right? For 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, thank you for the witnesses for coming and for whoever is watching. But what you're witnessing is the dying scream of addicts who realize that tomorrow they're going into recovery. Because this town, Congress, has been addicted on spending opium or other people's money for a long time. And that's what you're witnessing today, is this desperate cry of individuals who don't want to see fiscal responsibility. But we've gotten to this point, and it's a point of, we're getting close to where we're at a point of no return. And so a group called EPIC, which is the Economic Policy Innovation Center, said that we're nearing a fiscal cliff. We're nearing a point in which we're going to start going down a debt spiral. They say that will occur under current policies if we don't cut any spending in the next 15 years. It gets worse. 15 years seems like a long ways out, but you've got to slow this freight train of spending down to have any impact 15 years from now. In addition, the Social Security is going to go bankrupt in 8 years, right? And then Medicare has another ticking time bomb in just 10 short years. So look, the spending spree is over. We have got to return to some form of fiscal sanity or we won't have a country. This is not a Republican problem or a Democratic problem. This is a math problem, period. And so I would have expected Democratic colleagues to see that and recognize that this is a serious problem, and let's all get behind this and figure out a way to solve this problem. And the way to do that is to figure out, the easy way to do that with the least harm is to figure out how to make government more efficient with the dollars that we're bringing in, right? And reduce that burden on the American people. As was said, we're at $36 trillion in debt. Our interest is over $1 trillion a year, which now eclipses all other spending. We're at 120% of debt to GDP. So it's absolutely unsustainable. We've never been at that level of debt. Actually, we're beyond the level of debt that we were just after World War II. And we had just finished fighting a world war. This puts us in a very critical situation where if we are faced with any kind of global conflict, we have no money, we have no room to go. So, and then when it was talked about some of the opportunities for waste and bringing in outside consultants to identify and expose some things, because this town is a little bit incestuous. I mean, they generally do not think outside of the box. This town is really good at doing one thing, and that is saying why something can't be done, right? So it's good to have people outside of the box come in like Mr. Musk. And I want to ask Governor Reynolds, thank you for being here today. I understand in Iowa, you were Doge before Doge was cool, right? So in Iowa, you rely on outside expertise to come in, correct?
Yes, we did. Because otherwise, I mean, when you're in it, you see it one way and you get accustomed to what you're doing. And I think it's beneficial to have somebody from the outside come in and take a look at some of the practices and some of the initiatives and how we're operating. So it was actually beneficial. We hired a consultant to do the alignment to help really manage it, but to also help us compare how we were doing business with other states. And we're standing up Iowa Doge, and we're bringing this private sector in again for that very reason, so they can look at some of the processes and how government operates and give us recommendations on what we could do different.
Yeah, would you embrace if Elon Musk offered to you to come in with no pay, with a team of people with 200 level IQs,
Yeah,
all with no pay? Would you embrace that?
I would welcome that, especially when we look at the legacy systems and the antiquated systems that government is working under. To have somebody from the private sector, that risk their own capital on an idea to come in and take a look at how we can make government better, I think would be a huge benefit for the taxpayers of Iowa.
I think Doge immediately, just in the hiring, probably raised the average IQ of federal workers, here. Let me ask last question of Mr. Schatz. I understand that the Citizens Against Government Waste publishes an annual report called Prime Cuts. which makes recommendations. Could you tell us about some of the latest versions of this report and what kind of savings taxpayers, might be able to find, what DOGE might be able to find?
We have a Prime Cuts comes out annually. We're working on the report for 2024. But 2023 is $5.1 trillion over 5 years. It addresses things I've discussed already, technology, telecommunications, broadband consolidation, sale of federal property, which saves $15 billion over 5 years. Some of them make perfect sense, and a lot of them are common sense. And that's something that I think is also in short supply in Washington, D.C.
Thank you. Thank you. My time has expired.